Hey everyone, this is Fabio and welcome back to a new video. The usual shtick. I know it's been a long time, but I'm very busy and obviously YouTube video making is one of the first things I cut. So unfortunately not making many videos anymore, but I still enjoy doing the occasional one. It's a very nice day here in Italy, weather-wise. I hope the glaring light it's not too awful for you. We'll see. But regardless, I just saw a very cool video by my good friend Devil May Pie, where he shows his Switch collection, and that made me think, hey, I got a decent Switch collection as well, and I've made some collection videos in the past showing my collections and like different sections of it, like my DS, 3DS, PSP, PS Vita. So it's like, hey, now that I have more than 30 games for the Switch, it's a decent sized collection. Nothing compared to some of those monster collections you can see up there. So it's a good occasion to make one of these videos, and which I really enjoy to do. So I like seeing what other people collect. So it's a good way to see what they like, even though it's pretty obvious what you can expect from me. But in any case, this is going to be a video of my Switch collection, and yeah, I cannot wait to do it. So first things first, here's my Nintendo Switch, of course. It's the regular one. I'm very happy with it. I have to be honest, I love the blue and orange, reddish Joy-Cons. For this, up until now, I played it 99.99% of the time docked. Portable, sorry. The only time I tried it docked was when I played Octopus Traveler. I just wanted to see how it looked on the screen. I say, that's cool. Okay, undock it, keep playing. So that's how I use my Switch. I have to say, I'm really, really happy with the system. It's been a great journey so far. It's, I can say, one of my favorite systems of all time, for sure, because the one of its main strengths, it's well known, it's the hybrid console. You can play home console quality games at home, but also on the go, which is a massive plus for me because I'm much more a handheld gamer than home console ones. It's also like I really like it since it's the culmination of a journey that started at least from the DS and PSP, if not even earlier, because back in the day, handheld gaming always had a sort of reputation of being subpar and inferior to home consoles, especially during the Game Boy, Game Gear days, maybe even Game Boy Advance, even though that is a really cool system. But with DS and PSP, you started to have fantastic games on those consoles. Like, the gap then was severely reduced thanks to the 3DS and the PS Vita, and then completely closed, in my opinion, with the Switch. So I really like the idea of this. It's a cycle that has completed. But without further ado, let's move into the games. And we'll start with a curious one, which is Slain Back from Hell. A 2D platformer, action, a lot of action, very retro looking. There's this mix of like gothic and heavy metal. It's kind of cool in some way. I played it for a couple of hours just to see how it is. I liked it. I would like to go back to it and eventually finish it. It's super hard in a way, like you die instantly. So it's one of those games that you keep going dying with infinite continues. And I remember, like, in one section, I was on a tube coming back from a friend's house, and I think I died like 40 times in a couple of hours or something. It was insane, but it's nice. There is a pseudo sequel, completely different, which is like sci-fi and heavy metal. So these developers have found their niche, but it's a nice one. Slain Back from Hell. Eventually, I'll probably go back to it. Next, we have Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle. Still need to play this. To be honest, I haven't found a good occasion. I heard nothing but good things about it. It's a strategy RPG with Mario and the Rabbids. Not much to say about it, but as I say, like I heard a lot of good things. Eventually, I'll play it. It's just again, gaming time is so limited that I play one game at a time and don't even have much time for the singular game I'm playing. So not ideal, but it is what it is. Next, Fire Emblem Warriors. I haven't played too much of it, to be honest, just a couple of hours to see how it is. Because I'm kind of done with this Dynasty Warriors game. I mean, I find them very too repetitive and not really interesting. I mean, this wasn't bad at all. I mean, I enjoyed what I played, but together with Hyrule Warriors, this was kind of the moment to say, okay, I'm kind of done with Dynasty Warriors games. I really don't care about them anymore. Lost Sphere by Square Enix. I think this is a kind of early release. It's also on PS4. It's one of those games which are everywhere. It's supposed to be, I guess, an old school RPG of sort. I haven't played it yet. I will play eventually because I mean, hey, it's a Square Enix RPG. What's not to love? Speaking of love, Ori and the Blind Forest, the definitive edition. This is the last game I've finished, and it's absolutely phenomenal. I loved it so much. I was so bummed that for the longest time this game was available only on Xbox. It's like it really felt like, what the hell? I want to play that game because it looks so bad. It looks so good. No, it looks so bad. Sorry, it's a bit early. I loved everything about it. It looks gorgeous on the Switch. The music is phenomenal. The gameplay, it's absolute perfection. It's one of the best Metroidvania games I ever played. I cannot wait to play the sequel as well, Will o' the Wisps. But loved every second of the 12 hours I spent on this game. But I wouldn't mind coming back to it for a bit, since to be honest, like the ending was kind of unexpected. Like I didn't expect to finish the game when I did. It's like, oh, okay, it's over. Fine, I guess. So, but I'm pretty sure I still have some things to do in this game, and I wouldn't mind coming back to the Forest of Nibel. Really, really good game. Absolutely, this is a must play on wherever you can find it. Play it. It's super good. Speaking of good. This was a complete surprise. Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen. One of the earlier, I think this was the first game I finished on the Switch. Didn't expect much out of this. It's a Capcom game. Didn't even know about it. I knew about the game. I thought it was like, oh, it's a PS3 RPG or of sort. And I remember that the reason why I got this is actually, I'm pretty sure Leo the Funny Nerd gave me this game for my birthday or something. Sorry, Leo, I don't remember that. But I'm pretty sure Leo gave me this because the original plan, as I said, was for me, Leo, and Mario from Axon Gamer to play it kind of the same time. But then I was the only one who played it. And I kind of got into it, so I kept playing it. And I have to say, it's totally worth to play this game for its final third part. I mean, the first 2/3 of the game are fine. It's this sort of Western JWRPG because obviously it's a Capcom game, but it's very Western in tone and themes and stuff like that. And it's kind of like open world. You travel from one place to the other, do a lot of quests, and power up your characters. There's a lot of customization. I really like the pawn system, I believe it's called. Yeah, the pawn companions, which is really cool. You always have the pawn following you around as a sort of bodyguard, which there is a story reason for that. Really, as I said, really cool stuff. But then the final third of the game happened, especially when you fight the big dragon, Grigori. That's when the game got amazing to me because it has a really unexpected twist that I absolutely loved. I love this kind of stuff. And it has, from that moment to the ending, it was absolutely brilliant. And the ending was great. I loved it. I don't know if Capcom will ever go back to Dragon's Dogma. I don't know how, because of the way the game ends. But it's a really cool game. It's a bit dated by now, but if you manage to play it, give it a shot. It's a lot of fun. Bloodstained. I don't know why I was about to say Bloodstone. Ritual of the Night. The latest game in IGA careers. Like, there's a sorry for the long pause. Just thinking the way to saying it. It's like, I am a huge Castlevania fan. It's one of my favorite series of all time. And unfortunately, because it's a series created by Konami, it is in a very sorry state, like most of Konami games. So at one point, Koji Igarashi, that's Higa, made a Kickstarter back in the day when these big Kickstarters were the coolest thing in the gaming community, especially following the Mighty Number 9 announcement. That was huge, and then we all know how that ended. Bloodstain, I was really interested in this and say, oh, that's cool, an old school Metroidvania Castlevania game. Very, very happy about it. Played it on the Switch, really, really enjoyed it. Primarily because this is the closest thing I'll ever get to Castlevania now. So I put a lot of time into explore almost everything, got the true ending and everything. Really, really good. Perhaps it is just like nitpicking. It's not as good as the DS Castlevania games, but it's really good. A really competent game. And as I say, the closest thing to Castlevania you can get. So I'd recommend it on the Switch. Apparently, it's not the best port. I don't care. It worked perfectly on it. So great stuff. Now, this is probably my current biggest pile of shame. Like, I cannot believe this, but I haven't played Breath of the Wild yet. I know, just because I really don't feel like playing it at the moment. I mean, it's the game I bought with the Switch, but I say, I'm gonna play Dragon's Dogma first. I don't know why. I mean, we all know about this game by now. Everything there's to say about this has been said. I'll play it eventually. That's the weird way I work with games. I really don't know what to say. I will play it eventually. I'm sure I'm gonna love it. There's no questions about it. It's just also this weird thing that I want to play other Zelda games before getting to this. But the thing is, I'm not being in the mood for a Zelda game for a long time now. Like for years, I say, oh, I need to play A Link Between Worlds. I need to play Link's Awakening. Yeah, play something else. I don't know. There's this weird thing with me and Zelda, which like I'm not in the mood for it right now. I mean, obviously, I love the series, but again, now I got other priorities. And I know it's important to play it. It's the greatest game ever made. Whatever. I'll get to it eventually. Next, Valkyria Chronicles 4. Really want to play this eventually. But for some reason, I kind of want to play the series in order. Again, a bit of OCD there. Simply because I have most of the games. And I've started just to see how it is. Valkyria Chronicles on PS3, since I have that. It's nice. It needs some getting used to it when I played it. Also because immediately, after I played it for a couple of hours, I was taking a break from it because I said, let's play something else for shit and giggles. I started Bloodborne, and yeah, there was no coming back from that. So yeah, Valkyria Chronicles, the entire thing, it's on hold now. As I said, I got most of the games, so I'll play this. But as I said, I really want to play the series in order. I probably don't need to, but I really want to. Next, we got a interesting one, and that is Caligula Effect Overdose. I haven't played this yet, so I don't really know what it is. I know it's a JRPG set in a school, of course, and it has recently got a sequel. So I'll play it eventually again. It looks weird enough, which I might enjoy. Yeah, I'm curious about it. I don't have much to say since I haven't played it, but I think it's like mid-tier in terms of being received relatively well. Otherwise, you wouldn't get a sequel. And apparently, the sequel is pretty good. So we'll see. Now we got Atelier Ryza, Ever Darkness and the Secret Hideout. Wow. This might be my only regret for now on the Switch. Like, this is not a bad game. It's not my cup of tea. I knew what I was getting into it, so I'm no reason to complain. But that's the thing. I really don't like alchemy in my games and RPG. And you can say, but well, why did you get an Atelier game? But simply because, if I remember correctly, in the commercials and trailers and the whole hype about these games, other than the protagonist fights, the idea was that alchemy was not as prevalent as in the rest of the series. It was a more traditional JRPG. It's kinda, but yeah, I didn't find it interesting enough for now. Maybe I'll go back to it, not anytime soon, if I to be honest. And there's also a sequel in which I'm not interested, but we'll see. Maybe whenever I'll decide to play it again, I'll love it, or I'll probably get into it, because as I said, it's not bad. It's a nice, charming game, very colorful. The characters are nice, but yeah, I played maybe 4 or 5 hours, nothing special. But the combat system, it's interesting. Again, there's so much getting used to it that I need to do. But yeah, it's a nice game. But for now, not impressed. Persona 5 Strikers. I love this game, minus the combat. Because again, I'm sick and tired of this Dynasty Warrior games. It has a nice twist to it, like with the personas and the SMT formula added to it, which made it a bit cooler. Even though, like, the thing was so annoying, you consume SPs at a ungodly speed, which, especially in boss battles, can be very annoying. But other than that, I loved everything about it. I love the story. I love the characters. And that's the thing. Like, I still need to play Persona 5 because for the longest time, I refused to buy it on the PS4 because I really wanted the game on the stupid Switch, which it's not going to happen. Or I'm pretty sure that now that I bought Persona 5 Royal on PS4, I just need to find the courage to play a huge game on the PS4. I'm sure they're going to announce Persona 5 on the Switch. I know it's going to happen. But I don't care. I will not double dip. But in the meanwhile, I play, say, Persona Q2, Persona Strikers. So I play everything with Persona 5 characters, minus Persona 5. But I'll play Royal sooner rather than later. And really enjoy this. I love the style of this game. It's so cool, primarily. It looks gorgeous, and it runs very well on the Switch, or at least I had zero issues with it. Really, really nice. I love the simplicity of the story at first. It's just like the cast of characters going for a summer trip on a camper, and it was so much fun. I loved that idea. It was simple yet brilliant. And there's a lot of fun because this is a great cast of characters. They have great interaction. I cannot wait to play Persona 5 proper to see everything about them. So really cool sequel to Persona 5, and had a lot of fun. Lots of fun with this. It's also available on PS5 and PS4. I'm sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure of it. Just don't remember because the Switch is always my first console of choice. Let's move this way with what you may say it's a must-have on the Switch, and that it's Dragon Quest XI. Phenomenal game, absolutely gorgeous. One of the best Dragon Quest in the series, hands down. Enjoyed every moment of it. The only thing is the post-credits story part of the story kind of killed it for me, because by that point I spent almost 80 hours with the main story, which I loved. And then all of a sudden, there is this alternative ending you can get, like the true ending, so you have to do this, and it opens up an entire section of the game which is basically as long as the original. but it's much harder. So you have to grind an ungodly amount of time. Well, I mean, no surprises, it's Dragon Quest. But by that point, I was sick and tired of the game. And also, to be honest, I think I prefer the original story. Yes, it's a bit more depressing, but I cannot talk about it for spoiler reasons. But I was happy with it, despite what happened. But what happened was so amazing that just going the usual like time travel trope bullshit that avoids that event from happening, so annoying because it kind of ruined that amazing moment. So you know what I'm talking about if you play the game, but this is an absolutely must own. Like if you like JRPGs, you have to have it. It's brilliant. Speaking of brilliant, Bayonetta plus Bayonetta 2, but because I bought this used, Bayonetta, the code was not working, so I only play Bayonetta 2. Oh, this game, it's so good. I cannot wait to play Bayonetta 3. This was amazing. It's such a fun game. It looks gorgeous on the Switch. The music, that Moon River song, it's so cool. There's a lot of fun. I mean, loved every second of Bayonetta 2. As I said, I cannot wait for the third one, and I can't wait to play the first one whenever I manage to get it. I wouldn't mind getting the PS3 version, or just another code for the Switch. We'll see. Another game that I haven't played yet, Tales of Vesperia. I will play probably in 2022 because I have to play at least one Tales game per year, basically, because I love the series. And this is one of the fan favorites, so I'm very curious about it, and we'll see how I stand, but I'm sure I'm going to love it. Obviously, I had to get Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne HD Remaster, because I haven't played it on the PS2. It's still sealed. Who has the time to play all these RPGs? But at least I have to have it, and I cannot wait to play it, because now I love Shin Megami Tensei. And speaking of SMT, obviously, Shin Megami Tensei 5. Still need to play this, mainly because, just like with another game, I had some issues with my pre-order. Basically, it got delayed by the stupid mail in London, and at the moment, I'm in Italy. So I didn't have a chance to play it, but that's okay. I'll play it next year. Cannot wait. This was super hyped up. A long awaited return of Shin Megami Tensei proper. And for what I understand, for what I heard, it's fantastic. So cannot wait to get into SMT5. Another game I haven't played yet, but I'm really cannot wait to play it. It's Dark Souls. I bought this while I was still a bit lukewarm on the series, simply because I said that yeah, sure, I'm sure it's cool, but I have other priorities. Let's get back to my JRPGs. But then something happened. I played a little game called Bloodborne. I friggin' loved it. I really loved it. I still need to finish it because, like, I was still living in London and I think it was last Christmas break. I was here in Italy for just a few days. I played Bloodborne like crazy. I couldn't stop playing it. And then, obviously, I had to go back to England, and then obviously Bloodborne, it's unfinished, but I cannot wait to get back to it. But I fell in love with the gameplay, with everything that it's a Souls game. I know Bloodborne, it's a bit different, but it kind of like properly gave me the occasion to scratch that itch and I say, oh yeah, I like it. I like this Souls gameplay and style. So I got, I had Dark Souls ready to go. I also have it for PS3, but I'm going to play this because of course I will. I also have Dark Souls 3 on PS4. Whenever I'll finish Bloodborne, I can jump to that. Or, well, I think I will play the first one first. And I'm super curious about Sekiro, and then we'll see. But I'm definitely a fan of the Souls game now, and cannot wait to finish Bloodborne and jump into Dark Souls eventually. Another fantastic game, Fire Emblem Three Houses. This is kind of a must on the Switch. It's not my favorite Fire Emblem, but it's really good. I played with the Black Eagles, and I liked Especially, I would say, the difference between the two halves of the game, meaning the first half in school, it's nice, and then you get to know the characters to recruit them and all of that. And then the second part with the war, that's where the game got really good. And I say, okay, this is the Fire Emblem I know and love, like a very dark story that you basically have to kill your former students. Good stuff. As the music was phenomenal in this game, especially. That song during the final battle was mind-blowing. But really, really good game. Obviously, it's Fire Emblem. Cannot wait for the next one. Not as good as Awakening, of course, but really, really good stuff. Here we go. Trails of Cold Steel 3 and 4. Obviously, love these so much. Love the ending of Cold Steel 3. So dark and depressing. Love everything about Cold Steel 4. I love the Trails series. My current favorite JRPG series. I had so much fun with these two games. 95 hours, 120 hours almost. So yeah, really love them. Not much to say in a way, because I could stay here for hours talking about this. So let's move on. This is the other one I was talking about when I didn't have a chance to play it, and that is Metroid Red. Because again, my pre-order was delayed by the mail. Basically, I was in London at the time and I was waiting on the pre-order and it didn't arrive. And it got delayed for about 5 days. But in the meanwhile, I returned to Italy. So a few days after I was here, my brother sent me a photo of this and say, well, what should I do with this? So I'll play it eventually. Maybe if I need to take a break from Dragon Age, I can put this. I'm sure it's not very long, and I heard so many good things about it. I wouldn't mind playing Metroid Red. Our World is Ended. I love these big boxes for the Switch. I believe this is a visual novel, but I haven't played it yet. I'm curious about it because it's like video game developer team in a visual novel. It got very weird images here. Might be my kind of stuff. And speaking of big boxes, The Witcher 3. Played it this year. I liked it very much. It's a great Western RPG. Had a lot of fun. But didn't like it as much as, not as I wanted, but not much as I don't know. Let's scrap that. Like, in general, I really enjoyed it. This game has a sort of reputation of being one of the greatest RPGs ever made, and I didn't see it. It's good. It's really, really good, and it's incredible to have this on the Switch and on the go. I spent almost 70 hours with it, so obviously I enjoyed it. It's just, I wasn't a huge fan of the main story. That's the thing. But love the characters. Absolutely love the characters. And the music was great. Some of the side quests were amazing. Much better than the story. And that's the thing. Like, the main story by the end, it was a bit generic, in my opinion. That's just me. And I'm sure I still have a lot of things to do. And to be honest, I wouldn't mind getting back to it eventually, but who's got the time? But great game, and fantastic to have this on the Switch. Almost done. We got Langrisser 1 and 2, the remakes, or remastered, whatever. Really curious about it. I haven't played yet. It's the latest game I bought for my Switch. Very curious because this is a classic series. I mean, I believe it was called War Song on the Sega Genesis. And in a way, this was Sega's answer to Fire Emblem back in the day. It's a strategy RPG with if I remember correctly again, with a sort of permadeath system. And it's all based on heroes and captains and stuff. Really cool. And as I say, I found it at GameStop for a decent price. I think it was like 20 to 25 euros. So I say, sure, I'll get it. And can't wait to play it. Always in the mood for a good strategy RPG. Okay, this is a game I really want to play, but I need to be in the mood for this. And then it's Demon X Machina. Because I remember I tried the demo for this, the only time that happened. And I really enjoyed it, but there was a lot of I need to get used to this kind of moments. But the demo, of course, gave me a test, or a taste, I should say, of this game. And I really liked it. I like the setting, I like the graphics, I love the mecha. I mean, obviously, they're designed by Shoji Kawamori, so of course they're cool. But I really want to get into the game proper. And that's the thing, like, I was thinking that perhaps I might enjoy it better with the Switch docked and seeing, like, the huge mechs on television and controlling with, I don't know, a controller or something. But always been very interested, and I haven't forgot about you, Demon X Machina. I'll play it eventually, because I say I liked what I played in the demo. I just need to get into it properly, and it might take some time, but it will happen. Next, cannot wait to play this game. Perhaps next year, we'll see. But already very, very busy schedule gaming-wise next year with all these Switch games and other that I need to play. But Tokyo Mirage Sessions, hashtag Fire Emblem Encore. I had to get it because it's a weird SMT-ish kind of game, all in the entertainment industry. I mean, it looks so weird, but I saw videos about it, I heard people talking about it, and I'm very interested. So I couldn't pass it on the Switch because first it was only the Wii U, if I remember correctly. But very curious about it. I haven't played it yet, but I love it. It's very bright and colorful, but with the SMT combat system. Sign me up. Octopus Traveler, another must-own on the Switch, I believe. Absolutely loved it. This game was so hyped because the idea of Square Enix making a Super Nintendo-looking game on the Switch was insane. And I have to say, this is a point. I love this game. I haven't finished it 100%, just finished some of the stories. And I was thinking about maybe replaying it because it's been so long. It's one of the first games I play on the Switch, and I absolutely loved it. It looks gorgeous. Yes, you have to like old school looking RPGs, the pixels and everything. But like the lighting effects were gorgeous, I remember. And I am a sucker for these old looking games. It's very nostalgic. It's like playing a Super Nintendo game on steroids, basically. And what's not to love? I like the characters. I really like the combat system. It's a nice kick to a traditional turn-based RPG. And the music was so good. So good. This is a great game. I believe we should expect, I believe there's a prequel and a sequel, maybe. But one of those, unfortunately, it's on mobile phones, probably just in Japan. But I wouldn't be surprised if we'll see more Octopath in the future, because it did very, very well. Here's the other big pile of shame. I haven't got the chance to play this yet, and I cannot wait to play it, and that is Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Yeah, as I say, I haven't found time to play it. I cannot wait, because I absolutely loved Xenoblade Chronicles. And for what I understand and heard, I might like this much more, and yeah, I just need to find the occasion and putting away a lot of time for this, but I cannot wait to play it, and I'm pretty sure whenever I played it, might be the game of the year, or more. Or more. We'll see, but cannot wait to play Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Last 3 games. Unfortunately, this is still sealed, but I cannot wait to play it, and this Blasphemous, a super cool looking Metroidvania game. As I say, I love Metroidvania games. Add the horror, gothic, and twisted. Oh my god, that's the perfect recipe for me. As I say, it looks super cool. I just don't know what to say. I mean, I think it's almost everywhere, sorry. And man, I cannot wait to play it. Cannot wait. But who has got the time? Last 2. The Grandia HD collection. I couldn't pass this, even though I played both games already, but cannot wait to replay it, to be honest. But to be honest, I have to give priority to other games because I already experienced Grandia. But it's just so cool to have this from Limited Run. And speaking of Limited Run, how could I pass the Panzer Dragoon remake? Played this year. Took me less than an hour, which was a bit surprising, but loved every second of it. I believe they're making the second game as well. I hope so, because this was very nice. I really, really enjoyed this game on the Switch. Cannot wait for more Panzer Dragoon. And that's it. There's a couple, for what I understand, there are a couple of games coming from Christmas, but that's another story. But this is my Switch collection. Definitely let me know what you think. I hope it will give you some suggestions for games you might be interested into. Obviously, lots of RPGs, but those are my favorite games, so no really surprises there. But what you think of the Switch, definitely do more, like, show your collection. I would be more than curious to see what you have. So thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll see you next time. Take care.